Hey everybody, and welcome back to Partner News Live, where today, of course, I have my best friend in the whole wide world, Shelley Stab. Shelley, how are you today?
I am fine. How are you doing?
Doing just great, thank you. Funny old weather recently. We keep going from snow one day to bright sunshine the next. It's just a very strange year for weather up here in the
Everywhere.
Pacific Northwest. Hey, listen, let's go straight into our sponsor. Will you do your wonderful voiceover for Team Texas?
Yes. So, Team Texas is the sole sponsor of Partner News Live, based just north of Dallas Fort Worth Airport and with affordable hotels nearby. Team Texas will arrange an amazing day out for you or your staff or your business customers and prospects. David Starr and Kim Starr are both very knowledgeable about all the Verizon products and services, and they are the best salespeople and advocates you could ever wish for. Today, they're creating an event tailored specifically to your needs and wishes. As a Connect Us partner, they will give you a special price and fantastic service. So, Neil, can we show the video?
Oh, oh, the video. Yeah, let me pull up the video.
Hallelujah.
Here we go, Shelley. So we need to set the scene. This was just 2 Sundays ago on April 26th. It was the Cup Series race. It was the Ag Pro 300, and David Starr was driving number 40. And you know, Shelley, what was really good was he was on the starting grid in position number 20, that put him straight in the middle of the pack. So he actually had a great chance of getting into,
Oh,
the top 10, the top five, and having a really great race. Okay, but you can hear from my voice, things didn't work out well, and it wasn't his
no.
fault. Oh my goodness. So let's play the video. The car's coming through the trioval, and they will see the green flag. It's time to go racing at Dega. So he's about there.
Okay. What color car? Blue?
He's dark car number 48, bright colors on top. That's him there. Yeah, trying to spot him again. I think that's him there. Just out the right. It's
Oh,
hard to
on the
tell.
outside?
Yeah. But look what happens now. One car skids out of control. Yeah, there he
Oh.
is. And there's poor David. Gets struck from in front, and then this car strikes him as well. No, that's the guy number 48. What's Staropoli? Staropoli.
Mm.
Yeah, but we should see David again in just a minute. Yeah. And his best run of the year was in the draft at Atlanta. And I was just saying how the only laps you've had on track are either one qualifying lap or so here's poor David. Here's poor David. No fault of his at
Oh.
all. Here's the front of the car all smashed up, and here's the back left of the car all smashed up, and he's still going. He's still going as
Of
best as he
course he
can.
is.
I mean, let's face it, you and I, we know David. He tries so hard, and he kept going, and he kept going.
Oh.
Yeah. I wonder. I think there may be another little part to see. So there he goes. You see the
Oh,
damage.
yeah, on the back.
Yeah. I mean, what a disaster. Poor fellow. And so, I mean, David he pushed ahead, he kept going. But of course, with all that wind resistance,
Mm-hmm.
his car was having to work too hard. His engine
Mm-hmm.
overheated and he had to
Mm-hmm.
withdraw at the 14th lap. So, I mean, what a shame. What a
Mm.
shame. Poor old David. Yeah, and as I say, that was in the big race, the Sunday race, the Cup
Wow.
race, and what an opportunity lost. And I really, really feel for him.
Yes, I
Anyway, with that, I'm sorry, Shelley, I cut you off there.
no, I feel bad for him too. I
Yeah,
really do. I
yeah,
mean, like you said, he had a really good placement.
yeah, yeah.
Couldn't get
Anyway, on a happier note, I
yes.
think you are going to highlight just one of the offers that's currently running on SMB Days. We're right in the middle of SM. I can't say it. We're right in the middle of SMB Days. Okay, let me pull up this slide for you. It's one of these days, isn't it? Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
Neil, I know Corey will be on shortly to talk about some other offers.
We will have Corey on shortly, and he's going to talk a little bit more about the business now in the second quarter, and of course, a quick review of the his favorite SMV Day offers. Okay, so we're going to see Corey in maybe about 10-15 minutes. Right now, we have an old friend, Vince LaPietra. We've had Vince LaPietra before on the show, and he's also done another video as well that I remember too, a winner's circle as well, and he's with Adaptiv Networks, and he's got some new information about the company being bought over. But it's a good thing. Everybody's been kept on at Adaptiv, and it simply expands the portfolio. So let's go and speak with Vince. Vince LaPietra, it's great to see you again.
Hey, thanks, Neil. Pleasure to be joining you today.
No, really happy to have you. So, since you and I last spoke, I understand that Adaptiv has been bought by Scale. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. We're now part of Scale Computing.
Uh-huh.
It's a fantastic organization based out of Texas, out of Austin, Texas, and really excited to be part of this new organization and the opportunity that it now brings to all of our partners that were Adaptive partners in the past are now partners that are going to get the opportunity to have access to offering even more services beyond our SD-WAN product in the future to their customers, and really having that great opportunity to continue to sell world-class edge solutions and networking solutions moving forward as we are now Scale Computing for sure.
Fantastic, Vince. Thank you. I do want to have you back in the future to talk more about that expanded portfolio and what it can do for our partners and their sales. But for now, because we're always limited in time, unfortunately, always seems to be that way when we're speaking. I still want to talk about Adaptive. We talked a lot about SD-WAN last time, but there's also SASE. But what I want to say to you is this: we have a lot of people watching today who were not able to meet with you. Yeah, at Channel Partners, and I know that you had a pod, and Shelley and I actually showed the pod in the photographs before and after the show. So, can I ask you, when folks were visiting with you at Channel Partners, what sort of things were you saying to them?
Well, first of all, we're certainly asking, if they're familiar with, Adaptive and the type of service that we offer, the SD-WAN network connectivity solution and SASE solution. So the opportunity that we bring to the market for our partners to be able to go out there and offer the business value around SD-WAN for the SMB market.
Mhm.
We have developed, a world class cloud SD-WAN solution that our current partners are being able to position and offer to SME type businesses,
Yeah.
uh, single site, multi site, where they're going to be able to go forward and have the opportunity to talk to those businesses about the value of having reliable, unbreakable internet, as an example, with our solution. Something that every business on the planet really needs today. And so, in at Channel Partners, it was great to have that opportunity to talk to these organizations to understand what other things they think they could be offering to their customers today to help solve business problems, to help deliver more value as a technology advisor or as a reseller in the channel, and figure out exactly what their customers are asking for, and
Yeah.
really help them to understand that by being able to offer our adaptive SD-WAN service, that they were going to be able to provide an opportunity to differentiate themselves, to be able to go in there and sell the customers something that they need today, that's different, uh, you know and allow them really to have really good conversations.
So, what kind of questions did you hear more than others?
Certainly, there were a lot of questions about what is SD-WAN in general. Um, for most of the companies, I would say coming in, um, unfamiliar territory for them, and so educating them on a very easy to understand value proposition around what SD-WAN is. And SD-WAN is a technology that businesses have been using for quite some time in the enterprise space to connect sites, to build better reliability around their internet, making internet, available, and having that assurance, as well as having the ability to sort of prioritize different business services, whether it's voice services or point of sale services on the retail space, making
Yeah.
sure that those services are never down because they're impactful to their business operations, to their
Mhm.
customers' experience, their employee experience, and how SD-WAN can ensure that the internet is stable and reliable, and having that continuity around that. So just kind of educating them and helping them understand the connection between some of the services they currently sell and offer to their customers, whether it's business wireless services, connectivity, internet, maybe even some security services that they might be potentially selling to those customers, and helping them understand how SD-WAN also plays a role around security. So we had some pretty broad stroke conversations.
Mhm.
We did run into some partners that were MSPs or managed service providers, so they were
Yeah.
more familiar. In fact, some already selling other vendors or other SD-WAN products in the
Yeah. Yeah.
in the channel. So in those cases, it was more conversations around how we're different than say what they're doing today,
Yeah.
and really about the commercial opportunity, to go out there and grow that MRR business with Adaptiv, because we are a subscription based service.
Mhm.
Really the opportunity not to have to manage hardware, but really to go out and sell a service that's recurring each month. That is kind of synonymous with the way they sell other, like for example, Verizon Business Services that they might be selling today. They're very familiar with that, right? And the idea of coming in and selling a service that's easy to sell, easy to deploy, and that creates a recurring revenue stream for their business as well. So growing the value of their business overall, but also giving them the ability to differentiate what they offer, and that aligns with what these small and medium businesses need today. And we can talk more about what they need today. But those are, in general, those conversations that we were having in those.
Nice. Would you define for us what MRR means?
Yeah, MRR is monthly recurring revenue.
Ah, I'm
Okay.
with you. I'm with you. Good for that. Hey, listen, that was a nice little segue. You were saying that several of the folks that come up to you actually asked what SD-WAN what was. We know it's software defined wide area network. So if I am a connected partner and I'm feeling a little bit of trepidation about bringing up this topic with a customer that I know well because I don't want to appear foolish. You know, what would be the words that I should use to initially describe to a business owner what SD-WAN is?
Yeah, a one sentence position could be, look, SD-WAN gives small businesses faster, more reliable internet and application performance at a lower cost without adding IT complexity. Okay. So, in a nutshell, it's the opportunity to create, I like to call it unbreakable internet. So,
Yes.
effectively ensuring the internet's never down. Now, if you ask most small businesses today, more and more of the way they run their companies are running on SaaS services.
Mm,
No internet, no business, right?
correct.
And so it's not to say that internet's failing everywhere, right? Most of the carriers that they use, it doesn't mean that, but there are quite often times where they're experiencing sluggish performance, right? Things aren't working well. They're on voice calls or Teams calls, and they're having important meetings, and someone on the network is suddenly downloading some big file and it's
Yes.
causing problems. SD-WAN takes care of that. First of all, it takes care of that by taking a second internet connection and creating a second highway. So essentially saying, hey, we have a little bit of congestion on highway number one. We're going to move some of this traffic to the available highway that's sitting over here doing nothing, and ensure that the performance and the quality isn't degrading. So our Teams call or a voice video call like we're having now would be unaffected, because the SD-WAN solution can balance that all out and take advantage of these multiple highways to ensure the performance stays intact, right? So it's not necessarily just about a failure. However, if you had a failure, an imminent failure on your primary internet connection, then of course the SD-WAN is going to move that traffic seamlessly without dropping any of the sessions or calls to the second highway. and no one will even know that happened. So when the first highway becomes available again, the SD-WAN will remove the traffic back to the primary connection, so that there's continuity.
Yeah, no, just to paraphrase you, I mean, 10, 15 years ago, all the number crunching was getting done on the desktop computer, the tower computer, or somewhere within the building. What you're saying to me now is that most of business is getting done using software as a service. In other words, we're communicating with the server, and the number crunching is being done remotely, as it were. And my computer has become what old people like me used to call a thin client. And so it means that SD-WAN will make sure there's always just enough bandwidth to make things keep functioning. So you don't get the pixelation, you don't get the drop packet, you don't get cut off unexpectedly. You, as you said, you open up another channel to make sure there's always sufficient bandwidth to be communicating with whatever is at the other end. Does that make sense?
That's a well said. Absolutely. Ensuring that the highways are not congested, right? Ensuring that that you know regardless, managing the workload, right? So
Mm.
there may be instances where there's a dozen employees connected to the internet, and there may be times during the day where there's 50 employees connected, and making sure that there's no quality drop or performance drop, right, as a result. And nothing worse than being in the middle of a meeting and having your call drop and
Oh, yeah.
having to reinitiate the session. Quite disruptive. Or being a retailer that's managing billing and processing payments through point of sale, and
Yes,
having
indeed.
customers stand in line because the internet's down and you can't
Yes,
process
indeed.
orders. We've all experienced situations like this, right?
Mm.
And so SD-WAN takes those problems away, right? And again, allows effectively the business to decide what's important,
Yeah.
okay, versus the internet deciding what's important, in terms of prioritization of internet. So really, really cool, from that standpoint. And as I said before, it's something that SMB customers never could have been able to afford, but Adaptiv and Scale Computing today have made it and developed a service that is easy to implement, and it is monthly. So easy, low affordable cost with all the great benefits that it brings to
You
the
said
table.
easy, you said low affordable costs and such like. So actually that that's a nice segue to my next question, because of course, when me, the partner, I'm speaking to my existing and new business customers, I'm going to want to have a differentiator, something I can pitch very, very early. And you said that you'd been bringing this up. Other people had come to you and said they were using a different provider. So how can I, yeah, the Connectus partner, differentiate the adaptive solution from the others, the other competitors?
Yeah, so great question. One of the value propositions is that simplicity, both on deployment and manageability, right? So no need to have deep IT resources in order to consume the adaptive service, right? So organizations can really take advantage of the value of adaptive without having to make heavy investments in skill sets, networking skill sets, in order to deploy the solution. We've actually spent significant amount of time in our development creating easy to configure workflows, templated workflows for specific vertical industries like retail, where you can apply a predefined set of configuration roles that align with what a retailer would need to be prioritized. Again, I'll use the example of voice services, but also point of sale. Well, if we were applying that configuration template in our system, it would know that it's a retail client. It also, we've had developed the ability to identify over 6,000 SaaS services immediately, and given us that ability again to create that templated model for a specific business, when they're choosing to configure adaptive. So simplicity is key. Reliability, so of course the ability for our partners to manage these services for the business reliably, or whether it's again a partner or an internal IT person that's managing. The
Yes.
idea is like, we want to make sure lean IT shops see the benefit so they can go focus their efforts on other areas versus trying to have to manage a service like this, right? So
Exactly.
I think that's a huge differentiator. So we remove the complexity of adaptive of SD-WAN with the adaptive service compared to some others in the marketplace, and really have designed it for the SMB marketplace in that regard, where the overall requirement for IT or networking is not as complex as say enterprise, and so that it's a really good fit.
Hey Vince, is there any other way that we can differentiate the solution from all the others?
Yeah, no, exactly. Thanks for that question, Neil. Absolutely. Like I was mentioning before, more and more businesses around the globe are relying on SaaS services to run their operations. Making that internet connection super necessary, and the need for it to be reliable even more important. And that's where adaptive plays a big role. The other thing that's happened since COVID is that more and more of businesses have their workforce working remotely during the week. And so the need to actually connect securely back into the network, back into their business, whether you're the owner or an employee to do your job or to access important files or services, is something Adaptive can handle with the MyConnect service. Okay, so basically, this very secure access back into the business, the small business that typically are expensive solutions you have to run on firewalls. We
Mhm.
created in a very low cost approach where a single agent gets deployed on a laptop that an employee is using to do their job.
Okay.
And not only does it give them the secure remote access back into the network, but it actually helps them have more reliable internet at home or on the road. So essentially, it acts like our SD-WAN service on their laptop. And what it does is it gives them the ability to bond the existing Wi Fi service they may be connected to an LTE service. So their cell phone, for example. So imagine you're a CEO and you're on the road, your hotel Wi Fi dropping, and you're on an important call. Then the adaptive service would essentially move that call over to your LTE service seamlessly without having to create a hotspot, drop, reconnect, and continue, your conversation without the customer or the end, the other person that you're working with, not even aware that you just lost Wi-Fi service. So it's
Yeah.
pretty cool, and I think that's another key differentiator, especially obviously in today's world. People working from home, people on the road still. So again, another great opportunity to share a simple way with Adaptive to cover that, solve that business problem that businesses have without a lot of need for, having deep skill sets in order to roll this out.
So, Vince, I believe there's still an adaptive website up and running. There's a scale website up and running. And we also have a lot of your content on myconnectus.com put there by Rick Stapp. So I would encourage everyone to go and do some reading. But now that they have, the feeling they want to start pitching this to their customers, can they bring you, Vince, or one of your colleagues in on say, a three-way call, and you could help to make that sale?
Absolutely. We would encourage it. I mean, the idea of our partner program is to give our partners all of the tools to be able to speak to the value, position, the business case, the use case, different scenarios. But certainly, we welcome the opportunity to be in front of the customer with them, lockstep with them to kind of help them sell. So those are definitely things we want to do. Certainly over time, as they get more comfortable and don't need us as much, that's great. So the answer is yes, absolutely, and we welcome that approach, so that they can feel comfortable and kind of learn at the same time, right?
Yes. Thank you, Vince. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
It They could come and sort of email directly, at vince.lapietra at adaptive no e dash networks.com. They could come to our website and certainly, fill in go to our contact us at Adaptive, fill in a form, make a request if they choose, or again through their CSMs at Connectus. Those customers, if they hear about Adaptive and they know that they can reach, the CSMs could reach out to me directly at Connectus, and we could work together.
You betcha. It sounds great. Listen, I do want to have you come back very soon again and talk some more about the expanded portfolio. Will you do that for us?
Would love to. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Vince, really appreciate you being on today. Great to see you again, and I look forward to next time. Take care.
Thanks, Neil. Thank you very much.
So Shelley, so great to hear from Vince LaPietra again. It's so good to know. I'm sure you agree that
I
Adaptive is
do.
still going strong.
Yes, I do agree.
Hey, and look who's joined us, Corey Enko. Corey,
Yeah.
how are you?
Hey, Corey.
Hey there, Neil. Hey, Shelly. Great to be here again. I missed you guys. Hope all is
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
good with us. We saw photographs of you. Yeah, we saw the embarrassing ones,
Did you
and we
know?
saw the ones that we decided to show publicly on the last episode of Partner News Live. Isn't that right? You censored some of them, Shelley, because they were so embarrassing. But if any of you at home would like copies of them, $5 on the back of a. Yeah, anyways, let's move on very quickly. Corey.
As long as I can get a small cut of that, that's perfectly fine, Neil.
Thank you so much. Okay, listen, I'm trying to think of what we should talk about first. I know we've still got a few days of SMB days to go. So those that have not been trying terribly hard, there's still time to get out there and do some cross-selling, upselling. Any suggestions that you have for us all, Corey?
Absolutely right. And the beauty of the of SMB days this year, or this quarter, I should say, is the fact that they've made it 2 weeks, right? Something that hasn't been done
Nope.
before. So it's an ample opportunity for our partners to get that extra runway to close those deals. Obviously, under a time crunch of 1 week traditionally, made things a little difficult, but now we have a 2 week runway to plan accordingly for porting, for credit, for fraud, for new logo activations. You name it, we have the runway for it now. It's a very exciting time, not only with the promotions that are currently ongoing, but being able to pair that actively with some of our existing promotions on top of that, right? And one of which I'm very excited about is a new BYO.
So I know there's a lot of uncertainty at the moment in the economy. Are our partners having any difficulties compared to, typical quarter in selling to the business customers just now?
You know what? The funny thing is, traditionally, Q2 is a very slow quarter on the mobility end, and we're actually seeing some substantial opportunities coming across the goal line, especially on the business market front, right? As we shift seasons, you think of certain verticals, pest control, HVAC, construction. A lot of stuff happens in the summer, or going into the summer, excuse me, with the end of spring. So it's an ample opportunity to strategically reach out to certain verticals that excel during that timeline
Right.
when they're growing, when there's more of a customer need
Mhm.
for them in
Yeah.
particular.
I hate the term, but I'm going to use it anyway. Any low-hanging fruit you would recommend that our partners aim for?
I mean, like I mentioned right now, with spring here and summer on the horizon, I know that there's a lot of pest control companies out there, HVAC, cleaning services, retail, right? Just thinking all those businesses out there and about, right? That's plenty of ample opportunity for growth.
Fantastic, fantastic. How is the morale across Connectus and our staff at the moment?
Morale's doing great, right? We just got back from channel partners, which, as you know, Neil, it's very exhausting. 20,000 steps walking daily,
Mm,
meeting after meeting, but it's a great opportunity to obviously meet and prospect for new agents
yeah,
to bring
yeah.
on, but to obviously collaborate and meet with our existing agent
Mm.
base. Though we're always speaking virtually, on camera or over the phone, nothing beats that face-to-face interaction, and it's always a joy to see all of our partners face-to-face, those that decide to
You
attend.
bet. And you know something, all kidding aside, Shelley, you'll agree with me on this. When we did see the photographs from channel partners with Corey in them, Corey, you were always speaking with someone. I mean, we saw you at Thai, and of course there was a drink in your hand, but you were still talking, you were still communicating with people all the time. So we never actually saw you on the driving simulators or having any of the fun stuff on the booth. Did you ever get a chance to have a go on
I
the
was going to
driving
ask you
simulator?
that.
I'm sorry, Kelly.
That is one of my biggest
Oh no!
regrets of channel partners. I did not get a single lap in on the
Oh
simulator,
man, yeah.
and believe me, I am upset
And
about that. But there's always future opportunities,
yeah,
right? Thanks to Team Texas and all of their hard work and their fantastic relationship between David Starr and Kim. What a relationship, and working with them continues to be a joy.
I know you've been online with us for a few minutes. I don't think you were with us just at the beginning when we showed the shot from David a week last Sunday at Talladega when he was actually in the Cup Series. Did you ever see him in the race where unfortunately his car was struck during the very first lap?
Better, well, I'm not going to say better that than during the big one, because as we saw, dang near the entire field was wiped out during the race. So it's between the Talladega and Daytona, death, taxes, and the big one happening. That is for sure.
Cool. So glad to see you. Thanks for coming on. Hey, listen, don't go though, because we're out of time. So really, Shelley, any last words? We're looking forward to seeing everybody again in 2 weeks' time at the same time.
Yes, in 2 weeks' time we'll see everybody again. That is true.
Fantastic. I can hear the music coming up. So thank you, Corey Hinkle, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley.
Appreciate it, everyone.
Thank you, Shelley, my good buddy, for being on once again. And we'll see you all next week. Y'all take care.
Yes. Bye-bye.